Is it too soon? Have we seen too much of Boris Johnson on TV over the last few years? And what is fact and what is fiction? These are all questions that you're going to ask yourself.
This royal throne of kings, this sceptred isle,
this earth of majesty,
this other Eden, demi-paradise.
Hello and welcome to Screen OD, a channel for people who love TV, movies and streaming. My name is Tim. I'm an editor and a journalist who's been writing and talking about the media industry for more than 15 years. Today we have a TV show that is going to get everyone talking because it is a subject matter that is incredibly divisive. The story is that of the first few months of Boris Johnson's rise to power as Prime Minister in the United Kingdom. And those who don't have particularly long memories will certainly know that that was a tumultuous time in the world, let alone in Britain.
We need some good news to announce.
I'm concerned about the lack of transparency. It could just look like jobs for the boys.
What do you think, Dom?
Our focus groups show that people will accept a lockdown if we support them financially.
I agree. Obviously, the impact on the economy would be huge.
Okay, so what's this one all about? Well, this is a fiction based on real events, according to the title that comes across the screen, which means, of course, we will recognise many of the names and we will recognise many of the events. However, there is, of course, artistic licence around what went on behind closed doors. Basically, this is the story of Boris Johnson coming to power after many, many years of dreaming of being Prime Minister. Finally, he gets what he wants. However, when he gets there, things in the country and the world, as we see pretty quickly, aren't exactly as you would hope when you became Prime Minister. He has to deal with getting Brexit done, something that has been going on for years in the country. He has to deal with flooding that is going on across the country. And also, and most importantly, and this is the central tenet of the programme, he has to deal with a global pandemic of proportions that no one has seen in our lifetimes, which is building very, very fast.
Why haven't we met the target?
Don't blame me, Dom.
Okay, calm down, boys.
I think you need to see this.
What the hell is going on? We look like a bunch of amateurs.
Had one of Dom's bright ideas. You have to rein him in.
They're moving the PM to intensive care.
In the early stages of the show, we see real news footage cut together with the fictionalised events of what was going on at the time. Especially around the pandemic, this is quite troubling and quite upsetting, and I think a lot of people watching this will be reminded of a time that really wasn't very long ago when the world was in an incredibly difficult situation. There are many people amongst us who either directly or indirectly lost loved ones throughout the pandemic. The events that happened at that time are very raw, and I think that will definitely be one of the criticisms of this show. So what is going on behind closed doors in this drama? Well, we see a Boris Johnson at the centre of an enormous storm, both personal and political. We see someone who walks through the halls of Downing Street quoting Shakespeare. We see someone who in some ways feels like a Shakespearean character. He's got his personal relationship with Carrie, Symonds. He's got a baby on the way. He has Dominic Cummings and the troubles that come from all of the change that Dominic Cummings is trying to push through in Downing Street and in Whitehall. And you have someone at the centre of it who then has the pandemic looming down on them and the decisions that have to come with that. We see his relationship with Matt Hancock, with Rishi Sunak, with all of the different players that you saw on screen during the news just a few years ago in a drama playing out before you.
This blessed plot, this earth, this realm, this England.
At the heart of the show is a fantastic performance from Kenneth Branagh. Now, people will say, well, he doesn't quite look like Boris Johnson. Well, no, he doesn't. I mean, there's only so much you can do with wigs and prosthetics, but what he does do is capture the mannerisms, the way that he talks, but also a sense of someone who is truly stuck in the middle of a incredibly difficult situation. What's interesting about this show is that it doesn't immediately try to apportion blame. It does show that there are lots of decisions being taken very quickly, some of which we know didn't work out as well as they could have done, and some of which some people will interpret as being for the wrong reasons. There isn't as much of a damning nature to this show as you might expect. It feels like it's more of an exploration of how events unfolded and how events were out of control, and indeed how anyone would have struggled to deal with what was going on at that time. Despite the harrowing nature of what went on at that time, which is driven home by the show time and again, you can't help but kind of find this fascinating. Things that we saw on the news, but this kind of different perspective from behind the scenes. And also the speed at which things were happening is absolutely incredible. This series is set across a relatively short amount of time, but across 6 parts, covers a vast amount of stuff that changed everyone's lives forever. This is a program that will divide people. Some people will say it's far too soon. Others will say, well, the story's not even finished yet. The Johnson government has only just finished. And indeed, this show doesn't even get as far as some of the big events like Partygate. You have some fantastic performances in the show. As a drama, you've got some great actors coming in and really trying to make these characters their own. Ophelia Lovibond does a great job at playing Carrie Symonds, who of course at the time was the girlfriend of Boris Johnson. You have Simon Paisley-Day, who plays Dominic Cummings. You also have Matt Hancock's character, played by Andrew Buchan, who many of you will know from Broadchurch. He does a great job. Now, this is not a show for someone who does not want to relive the pandemic, because this will very much take you back there. So if you're someone who feels that they would be affected by that, I recommend that you don't watch this. However, if you want to watch a story of what is one of the most enormous global events that has ever happened and possibly will ever happen, and some of what was going on and some interpretations of what those people were doing behind the scenes during those incredibly tumultuous months, then this is definitely an interesting show for you to explore. It's got some fascinating performances from some great actors, and it's got some interesting writing and interpretations. If you're looking for answers, I don't think they're there. If you're looking for conclusions about who did what, when, right and wrong, I don't think they're there. But if you're looking for a drama that gives a different view of events that you already know about, then this may well be one for you. It's available to watch on Sky Atlantic now, and you can stream it on Now if you're in the UK. That's it. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the review. If you did, why not subscribe to Screen OD and hit that like button. We'll see you again for more videos very soon.